Welcome back, you beauties. Having the most wonderful conversation with our incredible guest. Yes, Ryle did pump her up as the most intelligent person he knows. And so far, it is ringing true. This Women's Month, we are looking at practical ways to stay smart about AI in the news. And it helps that we've got an incredible guest exemplifying tech in SA right now. Sandy Newborn, Operations Manager at the incredible Odin Education, who works with schools and families, parents in particular, on digital literacy and safety. And she is here to unpack 5 recent stories where AI has harmed news quality, from skewed search summaries to some pretty hectic deep fakes. And we're going to look at what happened and what it means for how we verify headlines and video and think critically. So most importantly, she's going to share some interesting facts along the way. So thank you so much for going through this exercise. We don't want to fool people with doom and gloom, but we have to be absolutely clear that some crazy lines have been drawn now. So let's get into the first story. Anabot, an AI tutor. Okay, this is the backstory. A new AI tutor titled Anabot is giving learners on-demand academic support. It adapts to each learner's history, their interests, their style and level, like having a private tutor in your pocket, which makes sense, and without simply handing out answers. This sounds wonderful. Is this the model of new education, that we're going to be teaching ourselves with a digital tutor? Do we do away with teachers?
So we don't do away with teachers. Let me start by assuring teachers that we're not making their jobs redundant. But what it is, it's a learning companion, is what we call it, because it gives a child and indeed an adult, anyone who wants to learn something, the ability to learn without constraints. So you're not, you can self-pace, you can learn at your level, you can have a tutor that is constantly patient and that is personalized to your learning preferences.
Then measure your successes and see what worked and press those buttons again.
Yeah, it records your history and it understands your previous conversations, so that it knows what are you interested in. It can, relate a topic to something that is fascinating to you, which makes learning fun.
So I love it. Everything good about that. Is there the danger of the child's mind becoming more passive or disengaging because something else is doing the heavy thinking, the heavy lifting?
So in Odin Education, Anabot, which we've built it in a Socratic way, which means that it does not give the child answers. So if a child asks a direct question, it will guide and it will repeat questions back to the learner, so that the learner has to actually go along that process of understanding the concept themselves without getting the answer given to them.
I love it. I can see my son's frustrated eye roll when I do exactly the same thing with him. He's like, oh, Dad, I just wanted you to give me the answer, dude. I don't need to go and research, but I love that. Absolutely love that. Let's dive into our second story here, the 4th industrial revolution and future skills. We know that is where we are at right now, but it doesn't have to be too terrifying, or does it? The workplace is changing very fast with automation. We see it all around us all the time. AI, new industries being born, but schools, especially in South Africa, struggle to keep pace. So future-focused programs bridging that gap with 4IR courses to prepare learners for jobs that don't yet exist. How do we prepare our kids as parents with those chats? Is this the way of the world now, that we're going to have to wait for our kids to come to us to tell us what they want to do, and then we're going to go and have to research?
So I think it's important to realize that this is not a new concept. Jobs and industries and fields have been changing, and this is a progression of that.
At the rate of 25% a year in some industries.
Correct. And so what we've got to do is we've got to just bring that back to, their core understanding of how they learn, so that what they learn becomes easier to adapt and change. And in our system, we have everything centrally managed. So if there is a new technology, a new industry, a new resource, a new platform, we can seamlessly integrate that. And it goes through the same funnel, goes through the same controlled gateway, but gets to all the kids that have access to that.
I absolutely love that. And I use that word gateway because I think it just feels safe when so much is uncontrolled on the other side, to know that we've got that safe way through. I love that. Now, of course, our children are going to look and live in a very different world. AI natives is how we're going to title this one. Today's learners are growing up surrounded by AI in ways that we don't know, and I think often know more about it than we do as parents. But with the opportunity comes major concerns. So how do we help our children use tech responsibly while still protecting their well-being? I'm saying in chat rooms, on games that are being hammered at the moment, thankfully. How do we keep them safe when they're probably going to have tools to break down security that we don't even know about?
Yeah. So we, at Odin Education, we firmly believe that, giving a child free access is detrimental. And we actually, to the point that we say, don't give your child a smartphone.
Yeah.
Because by giving your child access to the technology, you're also giving the technology access to your child, and to change the way that they think. So we have a closed system. It's highly secure. We are whitelisting everything, which means that we choose what they get access to. And we're creating those guardrails so that we give them the opportunity to explore. There's hundreds of really great educational platforms, really great AI tools, and a lot of future tech skills that we put on there without compromising their safety and also their distraction factor.
Oh, completely, yeah, and undoing all of the learning that is actually happening within educational spaces. But moreover, and I'm going to thank you from the absolute bottom of my heart across all dimensions right now, however realities I'm existing in, thank you for creating these safe gateways, but more importantly, the community around what you're doing within the educational space, because it's represented in a number of ways. Certainly here within the Western Cape, parents now have agency to learn and protect their children in the digital space like never before. So thank you so much. Yes, Ryle, she is the smartest kid in the school today. But then again, I think the expectations were pretty low compared to us. Now, we absolutely love you. Thank you so much. I think we might have to bring her back at least once a week, but you can let us know on the socials. How do you feel about AI?